We lost a real one today, folks. David Horowitz has left the building after a pretty aggressive confrontation with mortality spanning almost 30 years of the aggressive phase. It was not very easy for him these last 30 years. But he never stopped. He never stopped fighting. If he had remained on the left, or if he had bounced kind of back to the respectable center using TDS as an off-ramp, he would have had a big glossy Netflix or Hulu documentary by now, maybe even a few. But as it is, all you have are his own writings, Radical Son, Mortality and Faith. You have the many, many, many people whose careers he made talking about him. Perhaps not enough. There are people whose careers he made who later backstabbed him and who are thus not inclined to speak of him magnanimously. He's responsible for many, many careers, many, many, many storylines in the tremendous theater that is American politics. He had the soul of a poet, as they say, and he was a warrior. He wanted to change history, and he didn't see any reason to stop doing that when he realized which side was the evil side. He didn't think that, well, the evil side, they have a right to radically change history as is their ideology, but the good side needs to be more balanced, and the good side needs to just be content with getting along for a while. And no, he felt like the good side has to be just as radical as the bad side. Otherwise, what chance is there for the good side if they're not as radical? That was the way he viewed it. Someone from, who knew what was up. I'm just trying to think of the, little details about him. I don't remember what I said in that episode when I went to his home in Colorado, his last home. He finally left LA. And I had that long 4-hour conversation with him. It's episode 18, and there's also an extra 45 minutes of deleted scenes that I added, that I offered there for the subscribers at the time. I will link to those too. Other than his own writings, I think it's the best you're going to get in terms of an intimate, the intimate company of the man. I haven't seen anything else that has brought us that close to him. Even as sick as he was when I was there, he was weak. He was weak, and he was still, he wanted to talk forever. I wish he had more strength, but he had strength. He was never out of strength somehow. His entire system drained, and he still had a desire for women, for his wife, even after all his vitals, as they say, are drained and everything. I mean, you read the memoirs, it's amazing. Just amazing. his relationship with his funky little friendship with Christopher Hitchens is really something. Really something. They were at each other with knives, with chainsaws in the 80s. Then he defended Hitchens when Hitchens got like in trouble with the Clinton people in the 90s, and that kind of. And then they became much tighter after 9/11 when Hitchens kind of turned right. But even before that, there was a thing going on between them, Horowitz and Hitchens. It's a very, just like when it's like a bummer when you hear about how much Hitchens and Polya hated each other, or Polya and Greil Marcus, or all the ones that don't work, which can make for some juicy stuff. But still, it's like, oh geez. But no, he and Horowitz and Hitchens were the good example. So that was fun. That was very fun. Anyway, if you skipped it or you missed it, go back and listen to FAA 18 Mortal Kombat with David Horowitz. He had a very soft handshake. Very, very, very soft for such a strong man. Maybe his handshake was a rope-a-dope. I don't know. That was a soft handshake. Oh yeah, I was present for the great rapprochement between him and Andrew Breitbart at Friends of Abe. I think it was officially under the Friends of Abe auspices, which was Andrew Breitbart's local, underground right-wing group here in L.A. Gary Sinise was the president of it or something, and always presiding at the meetings. And at one of their meetings, they invited David Horowitz to speak, and this marked a great reconciliation between David Horowitz and Andrew Breitbart over something that I don't remember. One of those things that happens in the world of politics and shit. I was present for that reconciliation. It was all very touching. There was always reconciliations, and there were always these mysterious beefs, like the one Matt Drudge held until the end. I haven't checked if the AIDS clone of Drudge Report even mentioned Horowitz's passing. I would hope it had, but he'd been blacklisted from there for a while. You always appreciate that the people you come across in this world who are real. And who treat you as if you are real. Rest in peace, my friend. And a coyote just came down the sidewalk. And another coyote just followed him.